What's going on, FA Nation? John Pemba here with Howard Bender. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm MLB DFS Game Day Playbook Preview Show. We are taking a look at the Wednesday early slate here. 6 games starting at 1:10 p.m. Eastern. It is a full day of baseball here on the MLB slate. Howard and I will be back live at 4 p.m. Eastern to cover the main slate. So we're going to give you a little bit of content here previewing the early slate, 1 o'clock, which includes some very, very interesting matchups here, Howard. We got Coors Field.
Let's set the table for him right now.
You go ahead. You set the table for what we're looking at here on this early slate.
That's the first things I said to you. You know, just when you thought that you had it all there with like Tommy Henry and Austin Gomber in Coors Field, and you thought the offense just couldn't get any better than that. Well, then all of a sudden you turn around and you realize that our good friend Patrick Corbin is taking the mound. Lance Lynn is an absolute gas can. He's taking the mound. And you know, listen, there's a lot of different places now to target for hitting. I think looking at this slate here, John, I think we've identified where we're going to start fishing for hitters, that it's going to make, you know, going after the pitching a little bit easier.
I agree. I agree with you there. And let's just kind of jump into it. With it being 6 games, probably a little bit of a quicker show here, but we'll go through each position and then build a lineup at the end. For those of you who are new to the show, we appreciate you tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. Again, we do a preview show recorded every evening so you guys can get ready for the next day's slate. And then we go back live at 4 p.m. Eastern time to give you all the updated takes, analysis based off lineups that have been posted, any other news that comes out here, and we answer your questions as well. I agree with you. So starting pitching here, we obviously know the matchups we're not looking to target. Now, Bobby Miller is your top price starting pitcher. He gets Minnesota here. The last time Bobby Miller took the mound wasn't great. Faced the Chicago Cubs, gave up 5 runs on 4 hits over an inning and 2/3 there. First start, though, spectacular. 6 shutout, 11 Ks. So Bobby Miller against a very strikeout-prone offense in Minnesota at 10-1. Logan Gilbert against Toronto at 10K. Nola against St. Louis at $9,300. He has not looked good to start the year. Jordan Hicks has been a surprise. He's $8,200. He's opposite of Corbin in that matchup against the Nationals.
Right, and I think Hicks is kind of where I'm leaning right now. I mean, I do like Bobby Miller, and he's obviously in a good spot here. If you wanted to pay up that much for him, then you could. Because, again, I don't think we're going too far down, but I think Hicks is probably out of that crew the one who I think he's got strong win equity with you know, Corbin on the mound against the for the Nationals, obviously here, and you're only paying $8,200 for him. He can get you the strikeouts. I mean, you're probably only going to get like 5 innings out of him. You're not going to go, you know, too much deeper into a game for him. But you know, Hicks has always been a guy with great swing and miss stuff, great strikeout numbers. Injuries have always been his big hindrance, and they kind of, you know, hit him away in the bullpen. For some reason, the Giants feel like they've got it all figured out. And you know what? I'm kind of willing to take that shot here with Hicks.
Yeah, I think the one thing that Hicks here too, you mentioned not going deeper into games. You know, I did like to see the 91 pitches in that last outing for him, but the Nationals, man, they just really don't strike out. So we might only see 4 or 5 strikeouts as a ceiling for him. They grind out at bat. So, you know, he may only get 90 pitches through 5 in this one. But like you mentioned, win equity is certainly there with the Giants going up against Patrick Corbin. I'm in agreement with you. I don't really see the need to spend on Miller. Now, again, elite strikeout matchup for him here against Minnesota. We're waiting for the Dodgers offense to start popping. They're getting shut down by Louis Varland through a couple of innings earlier on this evening here. But then we look at the mid tier, and
are they getting shut down? It's only the 3rd inning. Come on.
Yeah. They haven't scored. They haven't scored yet. So you would think they would be able to put some runs. This vaunted Dodgers offense hasn't been able to do much of anything yet in this series, really, against Varland here.
Early like somebody's got some money on the Dodgers right now.
I got some DFS exposure to the Dodgers. We talked about Ohtani Betts, who built the lineup on the show. At least I built my lineup on the show with Ohtani Betts in there.
Oh, we got a $1 bet on that lineup too.
We do have it. That's what I'm saying. Hey, all right. So back to what I'm talking about here in the mid tier, because you and I have to have a conversation. how much are we just buying into the anybody versus Seattle at this point here? Through this evening, as we're currently recording, Chris Bassett tossing 4 shutout innings, 4 strikeouts against Seattle. We've saw Berrios shut them down, and now we get Yusei Kikuchi here coming off 5 1/3 shutout against your New York Yankees, 7 strikeouts in that outing here, 96 pitches, so the pitch count's not going to be a problem. There are certain teams, we talk about it, Oakland and some of these lower nationals sometimes. Seattle early on has been a team that were the White Sox. Seattle early on has been a team we're just pitching against. Kikuchi at $7,600, even though he's up against Logan Gilbert. Do you just trust that his numbers are going to pay off this price tag here?
Wow, you want to know something interesting here? Seattle against left-handed pitching, 18.9% strikeout rate.
Mm-hmm.
With a 309 WOBA. That's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting to see them strike it out, at least 28% against lefties, but they are not doing it. But to your point, anybody against Seattle, I believe you coined the phrase Seattle is Seattling.
Yeah.
And I definitely like that, and I would like to use it here. I'd take the shot on Kikuchi. I really would. I think that, it's cool. I don't know if you need to, though. Like, you could, but Zach Little, just $100 more than him. I like that matchup against the Angels as well. I think Little is a guy who, kind of sneaky value.
I could get behind it. Again, we liked Aaron Savale on the Tuesday slate. We'll see if that pick for kind of blooms for us here, but Zach Little, sort of the same situation, similar price point, looked really good in his first 2 starts. In Coors, he held them down to 1 run on 5 strikeouts at home against Toronto, 6 shutout in his debut there for the season. So definitely in on some Zach Little against the Angels for sure. I'm not touching anything below. I'm not doing Paddock, obviously. No Corbin, not doing Coors, not going to pitch Soriano here. So I'm kind of in agreement with you. I don't like Lance Lynn. We tried going that route against Miami. 7 strikeouts, great. Man gave up 3 more home runs. He gave up 44 home runs last year. Going up against Philly, they had a whole bunch of home run hitters on that team with Harper, Schwarber. We got the home run out of Marsh the other day. They have Castellanos, if he ever decides to make contact again, has the ability to hit some home runs, right? So I'm not trusting Lance Lynn here by any stretches. So.
No. That's it. I told you where we're going, or where I'm going. With my line.
I'm riding with you. Let's go to catcher. Obviously, it is a day game, so we'll see how many of these starting catchers get the day off.
Yeah.
How many backups end up playing. A lot of these times we always say, anyways, we're not looking to spend up. So we'll see when the lineups come out, maybe where we're looking to go. Obviously, if Gabe Moreno was active, you get him against Gomber. That would be a pretty good spot for him.
I want Tucker Barnhart to start tomorrow morning, right? Put him against Gomber.
Barnhart, maybe 10 years ago, would have been a play there. Could go any catcher against Corbin here. $3,100 for both Giants catchers.
I like Patrick Bailey. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Alejandro Kirk, you could do it against Gilbert. I know it's a tougher matchup. I'd look and see. Wilson Contreras got back into the lineup behind the plate, but didn't Ivan Herrera DH?
He did. Yeah, they played them both.
So all of a sudden, I would definitely take a look-see and see what happens with Herrera at 2,900 against Aaron Nola, who does not, just doesn't look strong right now.
Could get Jacob Stallings in the lineup here, 2,800 against Tommy Henry.
Sure.
There. So again, with the catcher position, we'll see when the lineups come out, where we're going to go. We'll look to target some value. First base position here, a lot of the usual suspects: Ohtani, Harper, Freeman, Walker versus a lefty here. Chris Bryant, if he makes contact, it's Tommy Henry, Goldschmidt, whole crew. Perfectly fine going back to Christian Walker and just riding out Arizona at this point in these spots.
Yeah. But I'll say this, though. I do kind of like Yandy Diaz against Jose Soriano. I think that Yandy, if you're looking to spend up elsewhere, because, we talk about this on the other show, right? The first baseman, this is where I spend up on the regular. On a slate like this, though, I'm sure a lot of people else are going to kind of chalk it up with that as well. It's really pricey, man. Look at that. That's 6 guys over 5K, 2 guys over 6K.
And it's a
So
smaller slate, so we're not really sure where the value is gonna
where it's going to open up. Yeah.
come in on this one as well. So yeah, it certainly could be something to at least monitor here. Montero's 42. Let's see, Kirilloff at 36. If you're not in on Miller, Wilmer Flores at 3,400 could be interesting here as a spend down. I imagine he would play over Lamonte Wade since he doesn't play against lefties.
How about Miguel Sano going up against Zach Little?
Yeah, maybe. I like Little. I'm probably going to pitch Little here, so probably don't go Sano. That's probably it though for me.
Yeah, there's nothing great sitting out here. Not at all.
Small slate.
Again, small slate.
Yeah, just use it as the excuse. Mookie Betts is $6,400. Ketel Marte did not play on the Tuesday slate, so my assumption is he'll be in the lineup for the Wednesday slate.
Rested and ready, unless he's hurt.
$5,400. Yep. Brandon Lau, a lot of power. We'll see if he can make some contact against Soriano. Don't really want to pay $5K for Brandon Lau when Marte is 54, rather just pay for Marte at that point.
Yep. Your boy Scott sitting at 43 against Lance Lynn. I think we're going to have to definitely look into chasing Lance Lynn with some of these Phillies bats.
Yeah, not a huge like BVP sample size for Lynn against the Phillies. I pulled it up here, and no one really has any standout success against him either. Schwarber has 2 home runs, but it's 3 for 16. So but again, recent performances out of Lynn have not been very good. I do think Nolan Gorman could be interesting. As we mentioned, Aaron Nola has been off to a tough start here. Gorman double donged the other day, so definitely some home run potential in his bat. Value tier? Any value?
Your boy Lux. I know you want to go for Lux there at 3,200.
He's not my boy. He's just cheap. He's in the Dodgers lineup.
He's your boy. You bring him up every show.
I kind of have to bring him up. Just give him the lineup.
You don't have to. You just like him.
He's not this bad. The dude was like a top 30 prospect, wasn't he? For like all those years?
He definitely was.
Can't hit major league pitching now. I guess that's just the problem. Estrada, you've been in on Estrada the last few shows.
I've kind of been. Well, I said on the show for the Tuesday slate that I was looking at him, but he was at 4,100, and he really hasn't done anything to like really separate himself, right? So now here at 3,400. I'll see what the final box score looks like for San Francisco after the Tuesday night game, and then I'll see. But this is a much more reasonable price here at 3,400 for Estrada.
Definitely a much more reasonable price for Estrada there. Last year, he got off to such a great start, and then he got hurt and just never was able to come back and be the same player there. Third base, you have McMahon's got lefty, so maybe not. Suarez, though, 46. Muncy, 45. Chapman against Corbin at 43 is pretty nice.
It's a shame you only get one third baseman, huh?
It is.
Remember the good old days when Muncy qualified at multiple positions?
Yeah, and FanDuel has a util spot, so if you played on FanDuel, you could roster 2 of them.
That is true. That is true. Suarez, Muncy, Chapman. That's probably where I'm going to live as well. Paredes, maybe. Not so sure. There's not a lot further down the list though that I would really want to go. I mean,
Paredes actually had a lot of power against righties last year. So
who?
Isaac Paredes, a lot of power last year, and
Isak.
A lot of it came.
It's Isak.
Isak, sorry,
it's Isak.
Okay, gotta get the pronunciation guy. It was one of the reasons why I used to love doing shows at Fensity, but always give me the pronunciations on.
Oh, did I not send that to you? I'm sorry.
Yeah, my bad. I know you have it. I'm terrible at
Jim sends it to me every year. It's hysterical. I mispronounce one baseball player's name, and I get the pronunciation guide. I get corrected. Right? He's been calling him Jameson Williams for decades. I love you, Jimmy B. You know I do.
Yeah.
I will send you the pronunciation guy. He was
it.
actually very impressed with me when I referred to him as Isak Paredes.
He's like, oh, you've been reading. You've been reading.
I was like, yeah.
Luis Urias will play for Seattle in this matchup, with him being the righty bat against Kikuchi. I don't really have much interest in a Seattle lineup, but he's $2,500. And then we've been playing Lipscomb, but obviously Hicks is down here, so you probably won't get to Lipscomb. But they're 2,100 is a. If you're not playing Hicks, you could probably get some Lipscomb in your lineup there.
Yeah, I think that's actually at 2,100. That's not a bad bargain price. That's almost too tempting right now. That almost makes me want to fade Jordan Hicks. Not really.
Coming off, 3 hits and 3 stolen bases in that game against San Francisco the other day.
Let's go, baby.
It's a big deal. 2,100. All right, shortstop. Looking to spend up potentially here again. Mookie's got dual positional eligibility. Trey Turner against Lance Lynn. Bichette homered tonight off of who was pitching for
George Kirby.
Gilbert.
George Kirby.
Homered off Kirby. We got Abrams back in the lineup for Washington. Tovar at 45 is nice. Not paying 41 for Newman. That's a trash price tag. Alexander though at 39.
I love my boy Blaze. I do. I think 39 is a great spot for him. Absolutely. Again, Gomber, I don't dislike Gomber. I just, obviously it's the Coors effect that gets him. There was a season where he was pitching better at home than he was pitching on the road, but those splits quickly flipped for sure. Trying to see who else down here. I'd look at Jose Caballero possibly there at 2,900. I think that's a nice spot for him.
Yeah, elite stolen base potential with this guy. He's hitting 300 on the year. No pop. He is a straight slap hitter, but that's fine. You want him to be able to steal multiple bags. So, I can definitely get on some Caballero there against Soriano. That's probably it though at shortstop here.
Mm-hmm.
Outfield position, as we always say, kind of find your stack and spend. I don't mind going Schrober for the home run potential against Lynn. A lot of these guys with the lefty spots, Gurriel has really let us down, but gets Gomber 52. Don't mind Arozarena against Soriano. Obviously, you have Ohtani up there as well. What are you looking to target?
I love looking at Nolan Jones there. If I'm spending high up there, pay that Coors tax. I just think Nolan Jones is an incredible talent.
Yes.
And I'd be very, very happy to use him. So I just wanted to make sure that I mentioned his name. But, again, on a small slate like this, we should be able to find some value. And so we should be able to find ways to spend up. So
Jorge Soler against a lefty in Corbin Carey.
Who doesn't love that? Who doesn't love that? And Patrick Corbin, no less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jorge Soler, I definitely like that.
He's only $4,400, Howard.
He's only $4,400. Beautiful. Randall Grichuk is going up against Gomber, and he's only $4,000.
Yep. Is Doyle lefty or righty? Could go Brenton Doyle here. I don't mind that.
Yeah. He doesn't have as much pop though as Grichuk does. Brenton Doyle.
No, I agree. I think you can play them both. Honestly, doubles in 3 straight games, multi hits. Does have 2 homers on the year already, and it's scores, so you get that bump. Let's see.
Jose Siri, he's got some pop in his bat. He's not awful. Again, Alex Kirilloff at 3,600. If you're going to go against Miller, I do like.
James Outman just homered for the 2nd straight game. He could be starting to heat up. He's only 3,500 against Paddock here. Yeah,
that's a great spot right there. Absolutely, Outman. Further down, Marsh against Lance Lynn. Again, we can look to that. Aspect. I would avoid the lefty on lefty crime with like Jake McCarthy.
Sure.
We said that about Lamonte Wade. Looking deeper in here. I don't know. Well, yeah, Yastrzemski at $3,000. We'll see what he looks like tonight. I know that Jason Radowitz had recommended him in the playbook.
Yeah.
So we'll take a look over there. Yastrzemski's definitely a possibility for sure.
Mm-hmm. I think Austin Slater tends to get in their lineups against lefties. I know he is 0 for the year, but there is a chance that he gets in there. He's due. He does hit lefties generally pretty well, so we'll see if he can get out of that. That's probably it though for me here.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see if there's more value that opens up, but let's build a lineup, Johnny. Let's talk about our pitchers. Who are we throwing down?
Yeah, I mean, I think we liked Hicks, and were we going Little or Kikuchi here?
I think we were going Little.
Okay, Little it is.
Unless you want to go Kikuchi. Should we go bold with Kikuchi?
No, listen, you brought up the points. Under 20% strikeout rate against lefties. I'm a believer in that stuff, so that works for me.
Okay.
I'm just gonna go plug in Soler because I think we're kind of
sure.
kind of in on that.
Sure.
Let's see. First base, I think we liked Walker.
We're just ride the AZ bats, baby.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm thinking. Do we get Marte? And we had Blaze probably 39. That gives us. So you spend down catcher. What do we think? Bailey or Murphy? One of those two guys.
Oh, Bailey. Yeah. Go with Bailey.
Yeah. 4K for a third baseman and 2 outfielders.
Oh, that's not bad. Let's go to
Chapman. Do you want to get another bat against Corbin here? Or do you want to go Suarez?
No. I'd rather go Chapman than Suarez. Actually, I mean, Chapman's kind of chilled out a significant amount. So
they both haven't been great. Truthfully, Suarez was up. Dude, Suarez was up a bunch yesterday in some really good spots with men on base. It just did not come through.
So let's go Chapman then. Let's spend the money elsewhere.
Okay, $39.50 for 2 outfielders here. So we definitely had. We like Grichuk, so there's our cores guy, right?
Yeah.
So we got 4 cores. We got a $3,900 outfielder.
That is a big AZ stack right there, huh?
Finish off the line here.
Is there a giant? How much do we have? 39. That'll get us either Yastrzemski or Slater.
Yeah, let's go. I don't think Yastrzemski will play because it's lefty. You want to go Marsh?
Ooh, yeah. Against Lance Lynn.
One off Lance Lynn Marsh play, and we got $500 left over, so we could play around with some things if we felt we needed to, based on who's in and out of lineups. Catcher obviously 3,100. We could get some cheaper or more expensive options here, but just a quick rundown of the example lineup built here: Jordan Hicks, Zach Little, Patrick Bailey, Christian Walker, Ketel Marte, Matt Chapman, Blaze Alexander, Jorge Soler, Randall Grichuk, and Brandon Marsh. We got a one-off Marsh versus Lance Lynn. We give ourselves an Arizona and Giants stack here going up against Corbin and Gomber. Kind of like it, Howard, not going to lie.
I like it too. I'll like it even more when they announce the lineup and it's Marte, Blaze Alexander, and then Christian Walker as 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, listen, they could give Corbin Carroll the day off against lefty. It wouldn't be the first time. So, all right, guys, that's a look at this early slate. As I said, Howard and I will be back at 4 p.m. Eastern to break down the main slate for this Wednesday. So tune in for that. If you're interested in building some main slate lineups with us, of course, make sure you like and subscribe to the Fantasy Time YouTube channel so you always get notified when we go live with these shows here. Howard, any final words to the people at home?
No, we'll see everybody in the Fantasy Alarm Discord tomorrow morning when you all are asking those early slate questions. We'll be there making ourselves available for you.
Certainly will. All right, everybody. We'll see you then.